What's up, guys? So my wife had a baby. Woo! We had a baby. Why are you doing stuff in your workshop then, TK? Well, that's... Hi, guys. So yeah, long story short, my wife and I had our baby girl on Wednesday, the 23rd. Unfortunately, there was, healthy pregnancy, healthy everything. We did have a slight complication during the delivery, which required my daughter to go to the ICU. She's still there, but she's doing well, She used to have a breathing tube, and now she's not, she's breathing on her own. My wife's there right now, but my wife kicked me out and told me to go home and do some workshop time because she thought I might be going a little crazy. So, I'm doing well. It's been stressful. Been kind of here and been in the hospital for 3 days, and not, we can't bring our daughter home. So my wife wants to spend the time there, but she's like, look, it's important that you have time to yourself. So here I am in the workshop doing what I want to do. So usually this is TK1138 Nerf. Thanks for tuning in. And I will be working on a Nerf project in just a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to put a little bit more time into my Mandalorian helmet for just a second, trying something out. And then I'm going to switch back over to the Longshot, and now that the putty is dry, we can start cutting and sanding to really develop our shape. So, here we go. Oh, also, for those of you who recommended I get myself a cool little tripod, I did. Super nice. Thanks, guys. I remember you, Nick, from the live stream on the way back from End War. Lego, Minecraft, Nerf, Star Wars, I think it was. No, Lego, Minecraft, Star Wars, gaming. I don't remember. Yeah, so here we are, working on my Nerf. No, not Nerf. It's on my Mando helmet. So, I've got that piece. And I also happen to have the glass visor that I kind of want to get in there. It's going to take a little bit of work on the inside of the helmet to make this thing work about this. So we'll try it. I remember you, Mr. Nuts. So for those of you who are looking for the video that I did last time, or the last workshop live stream, it got canned. Unfortunately, one of the songs that was playing on my Pandora. Oh, you're replacing me as a resident SDNC 501st member. I'll consider it if you get me the V. Let's go ahead and talk that out. I know Jesse sent you home with my white, so we'll figure it out. But you're not kicking me out of the SDNC 501st just yet. Okay? Okay. Nice try, Jake. But anyway, yeah, the last video didn't make it to YouTube because one of the artists had an issue with me playing his song in the background and blocked my video. It happens. Alright, Jake, FDL fight next time. I'll be there in October. Just gonna use my Imperial pen right here, Jake. You're right, and my workshop, also not. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so doing alright, man. Just spending some time getting some work done in the shop. Try not to go crazy. You know how it goes. Nice, D's. Alright, so our glass visor is this wide. Does the SDNC ban the Terra drone? Because if not, I was interested in how to regulate it. So far, we've only had three people use drone-piloted blasters. We've had Avery of Custom 3D Nerf fly a flying rapid strike on a drone. That was pretty cool. Drac has used a Terra drone in SDNC, and we've had Jesse of Project FDL use a remote controlled turret mounted FDL-1. We've never actually used them as standard blasters. We've always considered them wild cards. In some of the SDNC games we play, we do a game type called wild card. It can be either team deathmatch or like squads or whatever. But in this, a wild card has the ability, they have a weak or unusual weapon, like maybe a melee weapon, maybe an XBZ with a demolisher rocket, and if you get hit with that rocket, you're out. Or if you get hit by the wild card in any way, you're out. No, it doesn't matter how many lives you have left, you're out. So we have used the Terra drone as a wild card before, where we had two teams fighting against each other, and the Terra drone was in the middle and was just shooting at people, and if you got hit by the Terra drone, you were out. But other than that, it's really the only time we've ever actually used it. Who's feeling fuzzy? I'm pretty sure, Pete, that anybody who has a Hera right now is feeling a little fuzzy. I really liked what you did with the switch. That's pretty cool. So, the problem we're facing is I have this helmet, and I've got to get the piece of glass up here, but it's a little too wide to fit in these impressions left by the outside of this helmet. So it's kind of pushing it out. Like, I can actually work the glass up in there. So it's like that, really nice, but it's not sitting flush. Now that is unfortunately because of the method of the pull has left the outside of the helmet very specific, but the inside of the helmet has some serious variations along lines like this right up here. So yeah, Jake, that's what I'm gonna do now. I was really hoping to try and keep that piece in there for the integrity of the helmet, but unfortunately it is causing me some issues, so it's going to go away today so that I can get my my jeweler's files up in there and really flatten out the inside of the helmet. But right now, because of this lip, I can't get my files in there. So today, this is coming out. Oh. I'm really hoping that didn't just screw up this video, but that was, I really need to change Pandora stations. So that was the band that was playing. That was the one that got me last time. So this is an Enemy Props Stalker helmet from enemyprops.com. Retail's a little bit high, but when I was doing it, I was like, I really liked the layout of this helmet, so I was like, I'm gonna get this thing. And it's really nice. It's a little bit more tech than a lot of the other metal ones. What? Could you not use a Dremel wheel to carefully instead of cutting the support out? I mean, yes. But the problem is there is a little bit of variation in the thickness of this on the inside. And so that's kind of causing an issue. Also, I really want to be able to get my files up in there and like really sand it out. Including like I really need to be able to sand along the top of the visor right up here because I'm having a little bit of a wave in there. So I don't know. This isn't just plastic. This is like real glass. I'm thinking if I do this, it should leave enough integrity. Dude, the wild card weapons have been Mavericks, have been everything. I don't know if we've done a deploy just yet, but yeah, the wild card weapons typically are a little bit more on the funny side. So what do you think, Jake? So I'm really thinking if I take my cutting wheel and cut this out here and here, that'll let me get my file into it, and make it flat enough to get this glass in. And then all I gotta do is taper it off on the side. Because it's a really robust helmet. I mean, it's pretty damn thick. Yeah, that's the idea. We'll see. I mean, again, this is like from tvisor.com. It's a really nice, legit glass visor, so it's not very flexible. I'm hoping that using that with this helmet will keep it really tight. Let's see, favorite SDNC game type. I like Wildcard. That's a lot of fun. Like Wildcard VIP. There's squads and VIP are up on my list of favorite ones. The reason I like VIP is it's very much like squads, except you have one person on the team that if they are shot, the whole team dies. So my team is a little bit mean about it, and we will go hunt other teams and like take out their VIPs really quickly. So I like that one. Wubble Trouble's good. Territories is arguably one of my favorites. Alright, so it's going to be loud here for a second. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this support. Oh god. So, while grabbing my Dremel was tangled. And yeah, the Dremel was tangled, caught in the charging cable to my phone, which then took the tripod down. So we're going to try this again. Except we're going to be a little bit smarter about this, yeah? Yeah. Let's try that. Well, actually, I've got a couple test sheets of 6mm Sintra that I'm going to start tracing out armor patterns on. Practicing. I've actually not used this before, so I got a small piece so I can trace out different shapes and use my heat gun and practice different cutting techniques, different heating techniques, so that way when it comes time to actually build the armor, I'm not sitting there going, trying to cut this shit. So Sintra's gonna be pretty fun to work with. Oh, yes. That being said, FDL goodies. I'm super excited about that. Here we go. I'm gonna be honest, guys, working on this helmet makes me so unbelievably nervous. This was like a $250 helmet. So, and with all the time and everything in there. I've got some 3mm coming. How do you manage having younger players that don't call hits? Well, we do have issues with that. Especially with the SDNC getting as big as it is, we've seen games go up over, games go up to nearly 100 players. I'm about to put one on. I know. I actually let it out, and it wasn't until after I started cutting I realized I didn't have it on. But good call, TARDIS. Safety first. It's right there. So now that the SDNC games have gotten so big, we've actually developed, very recently we're doing adult games and kid games. Hang on. Hello, Lenny. Here we go. So, the way it's going right now, Tythos, is the SDNC is going to start a series of 14 and over games that we're going to do once a quarter. So that means we're going to have normal, and then 14 plus. And the rules are specifically 14 and over or 11 and older if you have a parent playing. That does not mean a parent who's there next to you. That is not a parent watching. That is a parent playing. So that way kids like, Will and Aiden and Ryan and a lot of the other ones whose dads are actively playing, we've never had an issue with those guys whose parents are playing call hits. They're usually really good about it. So we wanted to make sure that they could still play. So the games are, again, 14 and over or 11 and over if a playing parent. So that doesn't mean like if your parent isn't on the field, you have to be, but they have to be playing for the most part of the day for you to be playing as well. That way, we've got games that can be a little bit more competitive, while at the same time ensuring that the SCNC is not moving away from being a game that allows for children to play. I mean, we debated about it for like 10 days, guys, trying to figure out the best plan on how to do it for the SCNC. And I'm pretty happy with the solution we've come up with. So I'm a little old school about this. Like, when I did this visor, I drilled a whole bunch of holes in it, and then I cut it out with a cutting wheel and then a grinding wheel. But I really like the feeling of doing this with a hand file. And seeing as like Dragon Con's this coming weekend, I'm obviously not going. So it gives me a year to complete this project, and I don't mind doing it this way. Yeah, TARDIS, I've got a 4.5-year-old son who likes to use them, but, eventually I'll be excited to bring my son. Dude, Jake, you'd be surprised at how many different people, like, when I showed them, like, my whip stuff, they're like, I've never seen it done like that. I'm like, I guess, I don't know, maybe Mandos do it differently. But yeah, so I pre-drilled a whole bunch of holes, and then I cut it out line to line, then I ground it down, and then after I got it like within a millimeter of where I wanted it, I used a hand file to make sure it's perfect. But when I showed somebody that method, they were like, oh, I've never seen it done that way. I'm like, what? So. That's definitely an interesting one, except I've tried that. Those balls don't go very far. I've got a new game type I want to try out. It'll be interesting. It may or may not work. So, I'm going to talk with my man Ray in the SCNC. Him and Carius are two of our best game designers. So Flying Chicken, Ray, and Carius, I'm going to pitch this idea and see what they think. But I want everybody going out on the field with a certain amount of darts. So even if I'm rocking an FDL, only 18 darts. And everybody only has 18 darts. And the only way to get more darts is to kill somebody and take their ammo. So it'll be interesting to see if that works. We'll see. So I'm going to put a little bit more work into this, and then I promise I'll get back on the blaster. Also, Jake, since you're actually here, and I've always been forgetting, here, I wanted to show you something. Let me see if I can pull it off my wall. That was one of my sketches that I was thinking of for the FDL stock. I don't know. It's a little bit off scale because I was doing it by memory when I was sitting at work. But yeah, there's a little barrel extension right there to kind of make it that flared look right there, and that still kind of goes in with the topography of the flywheels. You already beat me to it with doing the angled foregrip. And then yeah, the stock, kind of using the existing line work and everything off here. I don't know. I doodle a lot of FDLs. It does. All right. I've actually never played PUBG, so I wouldn't know. Thanks. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a break from doing this helmet for a little bit and go ahead and move on to the blaster. Thankfully, most of the tools are going to be the same. Alright, so we are now back to working on our Longshot Centurion integration. Do this. Alright. So, saw one. Hell yeah. Sounds good, Pete. So anyway, we've gotten the epoxy putty pretty well and cured and dried the way we want it. So now, before we start sanding, we're going to carefully start cutting away at this and creating the specific geometry and specific shapes that we want to see. So this one's a little bit trickier because putty is a very round, very fluid feeling material, but we are going to be trying to create straight lines. So that's going to be a little bit more unusual. That's where we're going to be doing a fair amount of cutting with our hobby knife. Oh God. Yeah, I hate the Centurion. I have a Centurion on the wall that has that same problem. It's such a pain in the ass to try and get them lined up again, dude. I don't even remember exactly how I did it. I did it like a year and a half ago, and after that I said, I'm never screwing with this again. So, what you see me doing right now is, unfortunately, even though the outside of this putty is fairly cured, sometimes stuff on the inside may not be. So I'm going to be running my blade along the shell to see if I can get... Yeah, right. The Centurion has a lot of issues like that. So, we're going to be trying to trim this putty to fit the frame, because all this was filling in a gap from where the old stock used to connect. So, right here, that's filling in the gap that the stock sat in. I want to get that as flush as possible, and instead of spending 80 million years sanding this thing, we're just going to cut it down, get the new surface exposed to air, and we're going to let that cure again. Today, we're probably not going to get much sanding done, because as we remove big chunks or like layers of this putty, we may expose pieces that haven't cured yet. Now, that's not terribly likely, seeing as this thing has actually been curing for a lot longer than I usually cure it for, because, you know, having a baby. Usually I would let this thing cure for a couple of days, which lets it be very pliable. Right now I'm having issues cutting through it, because it has thoroughly cured, which will help us a lot during sanding, but it's going to slow us down during cutting. So, it kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Now the trick to this is I got to be very careful, and I got to push the blade evenly so as not to take out divots of the plastic shell, which I've already taken out one. Not super thrilled about that. So, also rule of thumb, never cut towards you, even if it seems really easy. Just don't. Now when the epoxy has gotten this, what do we got? Yeah, Centurions are crazy. So, anyway, all we're gonna be doing right now is shaving. Because this stuff has cured so much, it is very solid, and therefore we're not gonna be able to just take off the easy layers like we would be able to do if this had only cured for a day or two. Typically, I like to do my cutting the day after, but yeah, that didn't happen. I think we did this on Thursday, Friday. So we're over a week. Yeah. My normal method may not work for this. Actually, yeah, Samuel, I'd be very interested in checking that out. I plan on doing some more gear reviews. So please go to my Facebook page at TK1138Nerf if you have Facebook, and leave a comment there or send me a message with that. If not, if you don't have one, you can feel free to go back to any of my previous videos or like any of my gear review videos and post that name there or that link, and I'll find it. So, this is, in fact, going to be difficult with me today. So we are not going to be cutting through this as I had hoped. This has definitely gotten the full cure time, and it's showing. So that means we are going to be sanding through a lot of this. See, that part's not coming out so bad. So yeah, that's trying to flatten that out a little bit. It'll make it a lot easier to sand flat. When is the next war? The next war is, I believe, September 9th. Yeah, the next SDNC war is Saturday, September 9th. We should have an event page up for that soon. I will not be at that war, as I'm still going to be out on baby leave. But either Austin or Daniel or Chicken will be hosting that war. I will be hosting the October 12th war, though, so that'll be exciting. I haven't hosted an SDNC war yet, so definitely looking forward to that. Alright, so, anyway, back to my previous point. This is obviously not going to cut the way I want to. What did I do with my stuff? Ah, there it is. Alright. So that means if it's not cutting, it's going to have to be sanded. Yeah, the baby break is totally a thing. Yeah, if you find a link or just write that name down and comment it on any of my other videos, Samuel, so I can remember it. Because with these live streams, any comment you make while this is going will not be visible later on. It's kind of annoying, but unfortunately that's how it is. So yeah, if you commented on another video, that'll help. Anyway, you might be wondering, why am I wearing tinted glass goggles inside? It's because these are airtight goggles. They have a really nice seal, so I can wear this mask without fogging up these. I would prefer them not to be tinted, but, you know, it is what it is. Yay, baby break. Hey, baby. No, I don't think that's the head I want to use. Well, I used to have the Dremel 3K. It was really nice. Unfortunately, it did die. So I have now gone back down to the Dremel 200 as a replacement. Just for cost. I really didn't want to spend $70 on a new one. So. Alright, so even though this has been curing for a week, I'm finding the striations that are telling me that the putty is not completely cured. Now, that does not mean you have to stop. It just means you need to know that not fully dried putty is going to sand very differently than dried putty. So, you got to be a little bit more careful, and you got to make sure you check your sandpaper or whatever you're sanding with a lot more frequently. Because otherwise it's going to get gunked up with wet material, and if it does, you have the risk of it grabbing and pulling other chunks of that putty out with it. So, we're going to be very careful, and we're going to try to move a little bit more up this way, and leave this for now, and then I'm going to come back and hand sand that later, since I've gotten that pretty flush now. Alright, so this is the goal of what we're trying to do. Is now we have made this little putty streak right here relatively flush, just to fill in this gap here, and that way I'll be able to sand it out better later. Alright, hang on one sec. Oh, all right, Dark Dragon. Also, Jake, that's fine. Handling spice? Are we talking about like handling spicy food? Oh, that would probably be me. Do you want to go, Daniel? Is that what we're doing? I didn't ask for a milkshake, Daniel. You bought me a milkshake. So, unfortunately, with my dremeling, I got a little bit too excited, and I've caused a little bit of extra shell wear right here, which is going to slow me down later on, because that means I'm going to have to sand extra to kind of smooth it out. Daniel, did you try any of that ghost pepper? I don't remember. Alright. So we'll come back and do that in finishing sanding. It's looking good though. Alright. Onward we go. Alright. So now we've got this getting nice and smooth to make a nice transition into that top rail. Unfortunately, during the curing time, a piece of the putty that was right here fell out. I'll be able to replace that later. Hell yeah, Jeff, that's pretty good. I got a couple up on the board. I don't know. I got another one on the way. I'm trading this blaster for Strife. So I'm pretty excited. And, Jake? No. We're not going to do that, Jake. This is going to be a pain in the ass project, I have to be honest. That is a really good deal, Jeff. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, this is going to be a very pain in the butt project because, unfortunately, with the timing of my child, I did not get to cutting this as quickly as I wanted to. So with that full cure time, this stuff is really strong. Oh, this is going to suck. Alright. Swap out. Yeah, baby break is interesting. It means I'm gonna have lots of projects to do down here, but I'm not going to wars. So, I'm gonna be a little sad. I'm gonna miss my friends in the SDNC, but I'm still active online and on the Facebook group and all that sort of stuff. So it's not like I'm gone forever. So I'm still here. That means I gotta work on more projects. This is really gonna suck, guys. Upgrade kits for a hammer shot. I mean, it depends on what exactly you want to do with your hammer shot. Typically, if you're not looking to spend a whole hell of a lot of money, or even if you are, the best bet is to, one, buy an upgraded spring. Orange Modworks and Nerf Turf both make them. I know you can get Orange Modworks on Amazon. And then a lot of people are 3D printing new 6, 7, or even 8 shot cylinders. That'd be your best bet. Getting closer. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So, this ledge right here has been filled with epoxy putty. And I've got to get that straight as an arrow right here, all the way down to this part. Because that is where a lot of our priming, our pump grip is going to sit. And you got to make sure that that is a nice clear area, so that way you're not bumping into anything. Hang on again. All right. All right, shape's starting to come together over here. Am I emo? No. No, not really. I'm actually pretty happy with my life. And I'm wearing blue jeans. When do you see an emo guy wear blue jeans? Also, I don't like eyeliner. Doesn't work for me. It's not to say I didn't try. I went through a Marilyn Manson stage like in the early 2000s. So, ah. Ooh, guys, that's nice. I got that really nice and smooth. Ooh. So we're getting that really nice and smooth right here. Now we gotta work up on the front. I'm doing all this because I don't want to do the pistol grip area just yet. I need to, but I don't want to. definitely takes a little bit of. It's not easy cutting through all this shit. But we're getting there. One tiny ass piece at a time. So guys, I'm actually going to run this for about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to take a break, go grab some lunch, knock out some stuff around the house. Probably pick this up again later. Also want to get back to work on my helmet, honestly. But, gotta knock this one out, man. Alright guys, so after the song I'm out of here. Alright guys, so thanks for tuning in for a little bit of workshop time. I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Hopefully I'll do another edited video, but I really don't know when. I mean, I will. I just don't know when. Things are a bit crazy right now. So, anyways guys, thank you very much for tuning in again. And this is TK1138. Nerf well, my friends.